Hey, how is everybody? Hope everyone's doing fine. Hope everyone's doing okay. Um, Glad to be here today and sharing my good juice. Let me quickly share this with people around the world because I am gonna let you know one thing that I have done, and I love what it does for me, and I hope it does something for you. Sorry. I'll be quick. Almost there. Probably one more, and I will be with you. All right. No, where are you? There is one particular group that I wanted. Anyway, that can wait. You're more important. So how are you doing? How are you? It's early morning here and I am preparing to go serve my other people. And yeah, so I wanted to share with you real quick one thing that has worked for me. Now, I receive I love your feedback, by the way. I love when you send me messages and tell me that, oh, you love my messages, you love my messaging, my information that I share with you, my good juice. And I really want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate you for taking your time to listen and to send me a message to say, hey, thank you for inspiring us and so on. Before I go on to the one thing, I'll introduce myself. Dr. Miriam Sekandi is my name, and I'm right here in the break-free zone. The break-free zone is in my heart. It's everywhere with me. Where I am is the break-free zone. Now, one of the things I want to say is when you send me a message and you say you're inspired by my information, I do appreciate that, yes. I just want to let you know that some of the information, because some people will come and tell me they're inspired, but their life is still going in a wrong direction. And I always say, when you listen to a message, when it inspires you, it means it gives you an idea of what you can do with your life. Now, if you listen to a great idea and you do nothing about it, then you are not doing anything with your life. Your life's going to be overwhelming once again. So nothing's going to happen for you. So a message being inspirational is a good thing, but it is not enough. It is not enough for you to be inspired. It is great as well to be motivated. So if you find yourself being motivated by a message, that's awesome. If you find yourself being so there's four major things. There's teaching, there's inspiring, there is motivating, and there's transforming. Now, transformation only happens when you take the information that you've had and you apply it in your life. And you don't apply it once, you apply it several times, because the only way you're going to know if something works is not when you do it once. Because usually the first time, there's a bit of doubt, there's a bit of playfulness, your mind is like testing, let me just test and see if this thing works or whatever. So usually the first time, you might be lucky that it works, but the first time might be a tester for you. So you gotta be able to go it a number of times. You don't go once and pull out. You don't go once and, well, what am I saying? Once and pull out. Wrong language. But anyhow, you don't do something once and think you are done. You need to do things repeatedly. So it's not enough to just be inspired by a message. Exactly. Apply what you learned several times. It's not enough to be inspired by a message or to be motivated, but you need to take what you're learning, live it, apply it, and then live it. It becomes your new way of life. You can't do it and go back to your old way. You're going to get through the same overwhelm, the same stress, the same discouragement, the same crap that you were in before. Now, to that one thing that I wanted to share, the one thing that I wanted to share that's worked for me every single time. And this is something that I appeal to you, that when you see young people doing it, do not discourage them. So that one thing, take a moment with yourself. Grab a piece of paper. Guys, I know I get the guys telling me, oh, that is women stuff. Nah, you want your life to change? It doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl. Grab that piece of paper and think back. Close your eyes, take deep breaths, and think back to what you used to do as a child. Think back to what you used to do as a child. And ask yourself, what is that one thing that I used to find, where I used to find peace? For example, did you like going to the water and just hanging out at the beach if you lived near water? Did you like being alone and coloring and doing crafts by yourself? I have my 10-year-old will, like, she lives for crafting and for doing things alone and by herself. And, you know, I look at her and my mind goes because of what I'm just sharing with you right now. Now, a lot of people, like, personally, one of the things that worked for me was I loved walking in nature. I would leave home and I would walk, and I would get beat when I came back for those walks that I would take. And I remember my parents asking me, like, what's wrong with you? Like, did a dog lick under your feet that you have to be walking all the time? Do you have to be going out all the time? But that is where I found solace. That is where I got to think and dream. This is why those of you who went with me to boarding school, Paul, you're on here, you know, I never loved to be locked down. I never worked with lockdowns. You know, like, that's where you gotta stay. You can't move. I loved walking. I could not sit in those classes where it took forever. So think about that thing. Some of you might not remember because of the controlled situations, but if you actually sit down and think, what is the one thing that used to light me up as a child, that used to make me feel like fulfilled and in my flow and settled, and you did it no matter what the punishment you were going to get at home. You know, some of us were punished like every day, you know, for this, but you knew that you were going to be punished, but you said, you know what, regardless of the punishment I'm going to get, I will still go and get my fix. So you go get your fix, either, you know, coloring, cutting. My daughter cuts papers, like the entire living room full of cut papers. And, you know, for some people, that is where they find their flow. That's where the creativity lies. That is where they connect with their inner soul. So if you have children and you look at them cutting up pieces of paper or wanting to be outside all the time, when you punish them or you call it disciplining, but it's actually punishment, and you don't like what they are doing, and you're constantly pulling them back and stopping them from doing that thing, you're actually stopping them from being in their flow. So if you have children, look at them, watch them, see the things that light them up. You will see you have 4 children and all 4 of them connect in different ways to different things. I had one who had a rock collection. She would collect rocks, like others call them stones, but she would collect all sorts of stones. And now she will collect, actually it's the same one who cuts her papers. She has crystals. I don't even know where she got them from. And she told me she just picked them up. The damn things are crystals. I don't know where she found them. I didn't give them to her. They are colored in different colors, and they are real crystals. I don't live in a, you know, kind of rocky place where I would expect crystals to be, but that's what she picked up. And the other day we were putting her crystals out in the full moon, which was really, really cool. But look at those children. Look at the things that attract them. Look at the things that they connect with. And that is where they find their flow. So when you think of, oh, hi, Rachel. Thank you for following. Thanks. Hi, Nina. How are you, my dear? Yes, so think about that time when you was little and there were things that really like drew your attention, what you went for, and the things that really made you feel connected. I've seen kids catch birds and you wonder, how did this kid catch birds? Or others, like other kids will go down in nature and they just run off in a forest, and you'd find them and they have a big smile on their face when you're horrified, but they've had their fix. So what fixes you? So when you're going through those times of stress and overwhelm and depression, and it's because you're living outside that flow. It's because you're going against what your soul preaches to you. So if you feel yourself going off course, if you feel yourself going off course, if you feel yourself going in a weird direction, reconnect with your childhood experience. Reconnect with those things that lit you up. Reconnect with those things that give you that bliss, give you that joy, give you that happiness, however silly they may seem. However silly and stupid they may seem to the outside world, it's okay. These things are not meant to be, they are not meant to speak to everybody. They're meant to speak to you. So your soul should be your focus, not other people. So, feed your soul, make your soul happy, connect with your soul. Yes, barefoot nature lover. I know I'm a barefoot person, so that's a story of another day. But yes, that's awesome, Tinka. Yeah, so do that for yourself. Now, I started off this video, for those of you who've joined me later, I started off this video talking about teaching, inspiration, motivation, and transformation. If you listen to a teaching, and you're inspired by it, it means it gives you bright, it lights up your bulb. And you're like, wow, I like that idea. If you are not motivated to follow that idea, then you've left your breakthrough on the table. You've left your breakthrough on the table. So you need to be motivated to take on that idea and live it. Live it. Apply it to your life. Because if you don't apply it to your life, you just wasted the time that you spent listening to the message. Honestly. Because one of the things I have learned over the last 5 years is application. The only way you're going to change your life from a life you don't want is to apply what you learn. Apply what you learn. If you keep falling off the wagon, if you keep going back to the old stuff, you're going to be struggling with that, kind of running on a treadmill and not actually going anywhere. You look and you say, yeah, I ran 500 miles today, but you're still in the same place. You will have listened to 100 videos, 100 YouTubes, followed 100 people, but nothing that you can apply in your life. And this is how you judge what information is useful for you and what is not useful for you. So think about that as you go through your daily life, as you go through applying things in your life, stuff that you hear that lights you up, that inspires you and motivates you. Put it into practice and your life is gonna be transformed. So I encourage you, if you're feeling overwhelmed, sit down with a piece of paper, remember the times, the things that lit you up, write them down. Remember a day that things were going wrong and you just did that which you loved and it lit you up and it brought you back to the present. And no matter what they did, for me, no matter how much I was beaten, I still went back. So if you find your children, you're stopping them, you're like, why does this kid never listen to me? Even when I do this, I grounded them, I did what, they still escaped and went. It's because that is where they find their flow. So don't discourage them from doing some of the things that light them up. If they are cutting up pieces of paper, create a small area in the house for them to cut up, do their crafts, get them crafty materials, encourage that for them, because in the future when they are your age, they are going to be remembering those moments and how you helped them live their flow. Now, I hope this has been useful for you. My name is Dr. Miriam Sekandi, and I appreciate all those who've come in and who've stayed with me to the end. Paul, Rachel, Mariah, Jacinta, Cedric, Irene, Tinka, Erina, Betty, and others, because I saw others come in and leave. But I really, really appreciate you, because, you know, you make this worthwhile. You make my sharing with you worthwhile. And I'll see you tomorrow. Check out my other videos. Yesterday, I actually did a presentation at the end of the day, so some people may not have seen it. And I was talking about self-care. It is a very important video. It's about self-care and the things you can do to actually rejuvenate yourself. So I hope that works for you as well. Just if you go on my profile, you'll see it somewhere. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Hi, Deb. Sorry, I am at the end here and I'm gonna run. And I wish you a great day, guys. I wish you a blessed day. So, bye-bye.